everyone, welcome to ChinesePod. My name's Fiona.
And my name's Gwilym. Today we have an elementary class and we're talking about a teacher and a student.
And the key word in today's lesson is 没问题, which is?
No problem.
We're also going to be learning loads of terms relating to learning Chinese. So how to say vocabulary, how to say sentence, how to say grammar in Chinese. All very important keywords for your learning.
Alright, well how about we listen to today's dialogue?
好的，那我们赶紧来听听今天的对话。
好的。
生词有问题吗？
没问题，
句子有问题吗？
没问题，
语法有问题吗？
没问题。
那后天的考试应该也没问题了吧？
哎，不是，有好大的问题。
刚才不是都说没问题吗？第二遍。生词有问题吗？
没问题，
句子有问题吗？
没问题，
语法有问题吗？
没问题。
那后天的考试应该也没问题了吧？
哎，不是，有好大的问题。
刚才不是都说没问题吗？第三遍。生词有问题吗？
没问题，
句子有问题吗？
没问题，
语法有问题吗？
没问题。
那后天的考试应该也没问题了吧？
哎，不是，有好大的问题。
刚才不是都说没问题吗？
So how about we translate it?
No problem. 生词有问题吗？
Have you got any questions with the new vocabulary?
生词有问题吗？
Have you got any problems with the new vocabulary?
没问题。
No problems.
句子有问题吗？
Do you have any questions with the sentences?
句子有问题吗？
Do you have any problems with the sentences?
没问题。
No problem.
语法有问题吗？
Any issue with the grammar?
语法有问题吗？
Do you have any problems with the grammar?
没问题。
No problem.
那后天的考试应该也没问题吧？
Then the exam, the day after tomorrow, you should probably have no problems, right?
那后天的考试应该也没问题吧？
Then you oughtn't have any questions or problems with the exam coming up in the next 2 days.
That's right. Okay. 哎，不是，有好大的问题。
No, I've got a big problem actually.
哎，不是，有好大的问题。
That is not so. There's actually a big problem.
刚才不是都说没问题吗？
Did you not just say you had no problems?
刚才不是都说没问题吗？
Did you not just say you had 0 issues?
好，那我们 so let's start today's discussion. All right, first things first. Let's get some of the key words down first. As we mentioned before, how do you say no problem?
没问题。
没问题. You can actually break it down as literally no problems or no questions. Now, because this is a classroom scenario, so there's kind of that like double meaning, right?
Yeah, 问题 can mean a problem or a question, so you've got to guess what the situation is.
But most of the time, if someone's asking you for a favor, 你可以帮我拿一支笔吗? Can you get a pen for me? You can say
没问题。
no problem. So it's exactly the same usage as the English phrase no problem. Now let's see what the question form is, right? Do you have any questions? 生词有问题吗? Here it's do you have any problems? Do you have any trouble? Do you have any questions with regards to 生词? So something 有问题吗? Is that, do you have a question about this? Do you have any problems with this?
So here the key thing is you put the thing in the front. In this case, vocabulary. Have questions? Question mark.
That's right.
Now, if you're learning a new language, these 3 things are going to come up often. The first one is vocabulary, or more specifically, new vocabulary.
生词. 词 is kind of the one character unit for vocabulary. The 生 part means new or fresh. So 生词. You might also hear 词汇 or 单字 for vocabulary also.
So the difference here is with the character 生, it means fresh or new. So in a classroom situation, a lot of the words are going to be new vocabulary.
That's right.
But the other two characters are literally just vocabulary or key words. So not necessarily new to you. Okay, how about sentences?
Next we hear 句子, 句子, and that's a sentence.
Don't get confused with an orange, which is
橘子 Good one. 橘子. So 橘子 and 句子 句子.
So the fourth tone is a sentence. Now in the context of a classroom, how might a teacher say, okay, let's check out the second line or second sentence?
Okay, so technically the measure word for a sentence is 个. 一个句子, 两个句子, one sentence, two sentences. But actually in a classroom setting, you're probably looking at a line of text or a dialogue, a conversation perhaps. And it's more likely that your teacher will say, let's look at the second row. 行 is the Chinese word for row. 我们来看看第二行, 第三行, 第四行, etc.
It's one of those characters with two pronunciations. It can be xing, X-I-N-G, or H-A-N-G.
行
Now, they've got no issue with this. Do they have any problems with the grammar? What's the word for grammar?
He seems to have no problem with today's class, but let's talk about the word for grammar. 语法 语法
So that's two third tones. That's why you're saying second, third. Go watch the Say It Right series.
Yes, because 2 3s make
2
2 3. 语法语法
Now, the first character is spoken language. The second character is a rule. So, spoken rules of the language.
is grammar. So 语言 is a language. So 语法 is the grammar. You might also hear 文法 文法 wen being more the written language, right? And fa again being the rules. So if you're learning English, or perhaps you're an English teacher and you're talking about grammar, the term would more likely be 文法. But it's more common within the Mandarin teaching community to use the term 语法 for Chinese Mandarin.
Okay, so the thing is, if you're learning Mandarin, probably use 语法.
Yes, if you're asking your teacher a question, 老师这个语法我不太懂. I don't really understand this grammar point.
Okay, now they don't have any problems with this. So that's why the teacher says, well, how do you feel about the exam coming up in 2 days?
Love it. I love how the teacher just threw this out. No problem, no problem, no problem. So she goes, how about the exam the day after tomorrow? And that's where we hear 后天for the day after tomorrow.
Yep. So if the exam was tomorrow, we would say 明天.
Now, if you want to learn more date-related terms, go check out the Qingwen video that we're going to link in the lesson description.
Now, what is the word for an exam?
考试
This is the most broad word for an exam.
Examination, yeah.
Let's break it down a bit.
Can we?
How about a written test?
Oh, okay. I see where he's going. Okay, so do you know the word for pen in Chinese? 笔. So if it's a written exam, it would be 笔试. 笔试. And do you guys know the term for mouth in Chinese?
口.
So let's put it together. So if written exam is 笔试, what would an oral exam be?
口试.
That's right. And you might also hear, like, if it's a small test, like a pop quiz, do you know the word for small?
小.
小. So a small exam or a pop quiz, we would call 小考. Remember, because 2/3 tones? 小考. And the main examination would be
大考.
大考. That's right.
So we hope we haven't stressed you out too much by talking about exams.
But now you know all the terms, so you'll be fine. Next we hear, well, it should be fine, right? You shouldn't have any problems, right? 应该也没问题吧?
应该, to your first tones, means
Ought to.
ought to or shouldn't.
Should, right?
Should not have.
So let's put that all together. 那后天的考试应该也没问题吧?
And this just means also.
Yes, because he's been saying 没问题, 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 right? So she's like, well, then surely this should also have no problem, right?
Exactly. That's why the student goes, A? Surprised. Actually, I do have a big problem with this.
That's right, because the teacher has been asking them, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Do you have any problems with this? And they've all been like, no problem, no problem, no problem. So now she's thrown out a curveball and asked, well, how about, so no problem with your exam in 2 days, right?
And they say, actually, I have a big
problem
issue
with this. Yeah, I have a big problem, right? It's not like I have no questions. If they had many questions, they would say, 老师，我有好多的问题. But here he's trying to highlight it's going to be a big problem. 有好大的问题.
Okay, so let's just slow that down. If you've got lots of questions, you'll see the character 多 in front. If it's a big problem or issue, it'll be 大.
好大的问题哦，老师.
That's why the teacher says, but did you not just say you had no issues? So how do you say that?
刚才 is just now, so something that's literally just happened. 刚才不是都说 didn't you 都 means all, right? So all the answers were what? 没问题, right? 刚才不是都说没问题吗?
Now this is a rhetorical question. I feel like the 不是 is a good way to start rhetorical questions.
That's
Did
right.
you not say blah blah blah?
Blah, 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 yeah. 刚才不是都说不饿吗?
Did you not just say you weren't hungry?
刚才不是说都不想喝这个饮料吗? Didn't you just say you didn't want to drink this drink? Oh, now who's drinking?
You can say this to your children, actually.
All right, guys. At this point, let's listen to the dialogue 3 more times and really try and pick out those keywords that we talked about.
Okay, see you in a jiffy.
好。
生词有问题吗？
没问题，
句子有问题吗？
没问题，
语法有问题吗？
没问题。
那后天的考试应该也没问题了吧？
哎，不是，有好大的问题。
刚才不是都说没问题吗？
第2遍，
生词有问题吗？
没问题，
句子有问题吗？
没问题，
语法有问题吗？
没问题。
那后天的考试应该也没问题了吧？
哎，不是，有好大的问题。
刚才不是都说没问题吗？
第3遍，
生词有问题吗？
没问题，
句子有问题吗？
没问题，
语法有问题吗？
没问题。
那后天的考试应该也没问题了吧？
哎，不是，有好大的问题。
刚才不是都说没问题吗？
Since today's lesson is all about all these kind of classroom language-based phrases, I really want to impart one key bit of advice for learning Mandarin. Learn the language in the language that you're learning as soon as you can. So try and start asking questions in Chinese. It will really help you improve. So having these key bits of vocabulary, 生词 or 词汇 will really help because you'll be able to be like, 老师这个句子我不太懂，我有点问题 I've got a bit of a problem, I've got a bit of a question, I don't really understand this sentence, grammar, or piece of vocabulary.
Okay, well, we hope you found today's lesson useful, and we'll see you guys next time.
我们下次见，再见。